Hey everybody, today I am building my very first home in Paralives. I have been building in The Sims 4 for quite a while now, so I feel like I had a base knowledge of how the build mode might work when they showed it off in the different videos before launch. But when I actually got into building in the build mode, the way that it works in Paralives and how it's implemented all of the different UIs and features, it was honestly a little overwhelming. I really like the art style of the build mode and of the UI. It's very cute. I like the different symbols for the different objects, but today I just wanted to build a one bedroom kind of small house just so I could have like a base idea of what the build mode would be like, so I didn't want to do anything too crazy or anything like 2 stories for the build mode. Going through all of this, I think the hardest part was getting the walls to become rooms, and I think that might be because I'm recording this that there is some type of lag while it's recording because it takes a lot of power as well as the game takes a lot of power, so that might just be something that's wrong on my end. But for some reason I couldn't get them to make rooms unless I stopped recording, so I might just have to figure that out in the future. But other than that, once I got these rooms to actually be made, it was very simple to use, and I like that you can make curved walls just right out of the gate. The only thing I'm having a lot of trouble with, honestly, is the roof tools. They're a little finicky in my opinion. I'm not 100% sure on how to use them. Maybe I should watch more videos on like tutorials and stuff, but it wasn't as intuitive as some of the other things in the build mode that you could do, so it took me a while to figure out like how to do the roof placement and how to make it look nice. And I don't honestly think I made it look that nice in the end anyways, but I do like that there is a lot of versatility and you can do a lot, and once I figure out how the roofs work, I think I'll be able to make them look really good. It's a learning curve, I guess you could say. And while I am in no way a game developer, that is not my strong suit, I do think it would be very helpful if like during the early access period they added some sort of like auto roof or like click to drag roof or something. I don't know, just so like an easier light mode or something for the roof specifically, because honestly that's the only part of this game that has given me any like, I don't want to say trouble, but like confusion or whatever. It's the only part that I like really struggled, I think, on how to do it, but I guess you just have to work a lot with it. But yeah, I spent a lot of time on this specific like main part of the roof, the big part, and trying to figure out how to put it in, and you can see I didn't get it exactly like anyways. But now I'm trying to do the 2 hanging out roofs, because I kind of made like an E-shaped roof or like shape of the house, so I'm trying to fit them in like that. And the little circle color thing is a little confusing to me, but I do like that you can duplicate it, even though I obviously didn't make those even at all, which I didn't realize when I was building it. I thought they were the same length, the rooms, not the roofs. But yeah, but here I am just trying to figure out the roof. Like I said, I think it would be a little bit easier just to have some type of like auto roof system, even if it's just a button that you can click. Sound off in the comments if you also agree about the roofs. I think a lot of people might want an auto roof system, personally. I like this little roof in the middle. I know it doesn't look that good, but I think it's a good connector between the 2 like jetted out roofs or whatever they're called. And I'm trying to make it like a similar height to the other ones. I'm not sure about this red color, so I think I'm going to change it to a different color. I really like dark wood like flooring and roof types, so I think I'm going to stick with this like dark flooring. I keep saying flooring. This dark roof texture. I like the contrast between light and dark in builds. And now we're just going to be putting doors and windows onto the house. I went with these very basic shutter windows because I think they look very pretty, but I do want to make them blue because I like blue. And also I do know that you can like change the size of the window, but I don't want to mess with that right now. So I think I'm just going to put them in the front for now until I get the floor plan situated, and then I'll put more. And now we're doing some landscaping, which I love this little tree. It's so cute. And I want a bunch of bushes in front of the house to make it look more, I don't want it to look manicured, but I want it to look like lived in, I guess, or like someone takes care of it, but not like super takes care of it, you know? I do like this feature where you can like, once you put them down, you can keep putting them down instead of having to reselect the item over and over again. It's very useful, especially for things like landscaping. And I think the first thing I'm going to do after I've put down all the shrubs and like trees and stuff is I'm not going to mess with the height of the terrain, but I am going to put some nice little grassy looking flowers all over it, like you can see. I think this makes it give it a lot of texture, which is very nice. And I really like this dirt path. I think it gives it some more texture as well. Except I think I'm going to go with this one. I can't decide if I like the dirt path or like the stone path, but I think for this particular build I want to do the stone path. And for some reason it's not like making the rooms, and I don't know why. That's the only like problem shooting I've had other than the roof, is like making the rooms. It won't like connect for some reason. I think it might be because of the recording that I'm doing to make this video, like I stated before in the video. But I will eventually get the rooms to close, hopefully, but it is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, so it's a little annoying. When I finally do get the rooms in the way that I want, I'm gonna have a kitchen, dining room, living room like area, and then a separate bedroom, and then a bathroom. That's the kind of rooms that I'm thinking, just like I said, simple, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, nothing too fancy. But if anyone could like let me know why I'm having so much trouble with the putting them into rooms. Why is that happening to me? And I also, another thing that I'm not 100% sure what it is when I deleted this wall, you see this like translucent wall in its placement, and I don't know why it's doing that. Is that a feature or a bug, or is it supposed to be there? I have no idea. So if someone could let me know in the comments, that'd be great. I would love to know why it's staying there. And I thought maybe it was because of a curved wall or something, but I have honestly no idea. I am very confused, so I am trying to rework what this floor plan is going to be for this home. I think I'm going to make it a little bit simpler than the already simple version I was going to do before, just to get away from those translucent walls, whatever those are, whether they're a bug or not. But I think I'm gonna have a bigger bedroom, and then the bathroom is right behind it. And I mentioned earlier how I like the contrast of the dark and the light woods and color tones, so I'm changing the flooring to just a slightly darker wood tone because I think that looks really pretty. And I'm going to choose a wallpaper that's a little bit lighter but also darker, and I like this two-tone one that I can change the top and the bottom to be different colors. I think I'm gonna go for a color that's a little bit closer to the wood on the bottom, sort of like wood paneling if you will, but not exactly wood paneling, I guess. But I think it looks really nice with the wood flooring on the bottom, so that's really pretty. Right before I go in and put the furniture, I am going to try to put in a fence, but I don't think I really like how that looks, and it's kind of looking weird, and it won't let me put in a fence for some reason. I have no idea why it's doing that. This build shouldn't have a fence right now is what this game is telling me, so I'm just not going to put a fence in it. But the first place I'm going to start furnishing is the kitchen, so let's go back into the house and look for a good spot for the kitchen, which I think will be over in the left hand corner. As you can see, I really like these green counters with the light wood tone, and I know they're completely different than the flooring and the wallpaper, but I don't care. They're really pretty, and I didn't remember to change the wood tone to match at all. Totally forgot about that, even though there is a color wheel. But I really like this green color, so I don't think I'm going to change the color of the countertops, but I do like the colored green, so maybe I'll use that same color for the cabinets above. I did not also realize that there were different cabinets. I thought that was the only cabinet, and while I do think it's really pretty, I wish I had noticed the other cabinets before, honestly. But I've been putting these down, and I think they look really nice, although they are a little small, which I didn't realize that you could actually, you know, resize everything in this game. So that's why I put so many on the top before. I wanted to do like an L-shaped kitchen, but I couldn't find the like corner cabinets, so I decided to just scratch that for another build that I might do in the future. But I am changing the color to all of these cabinets be the same color as the top of the countertop, because I think that looks prettier than just the green matching. Personally, I like the wood tones to match a little bit better. I think these look really pretty. I've left a space for the stove and the fridge, and I'm going to put a fridge in there. But I also think I'm going to change the size of the cabinets to fit the fridge and the stove. I thought I would make the stove a little bit bigger, but I don't think that's a good idea anymore. So I'm just going to put that there, and then I'm going to raise up the cabinets to be a little higher so you can still see the fridge a little bit. And then I'm gonna add in the stove and maybe move the cabinets over a little bit. I do love that you can raise and make them bigger at any time that you want. There's no like restrictions as far as I can see, basically. And I believe it's still functional in the game, so like you can do whatever you want, which I think is awesome. But I'm just going to be adding the stove and then changing just a little bit of the width of the cabinets. And full disclosure, I thought that these were like island, and that's why I'm placing bar stools next to them, because I was going to make this cute like little island in front of the cabinets, which I thought would look adorable, but they aren't like snapping or anything to it, so I don't know if the paras can actually use them or not. So I decided to, as cute as it looks, and I really want an island, and maybe in the future I will make a house with an island in it, I decided to just make a dining room table. I'm keeping it there for now, but I'm also adding a dining room table to the right hand side, if you can see, with these adorable chairs. But these are like snapping, but the bar stools weren't, so I think I'm gonna get rid of that and the bar stools and just make like a little kitchen table thing. I've never had like a table in my kitchen where we like eat, so that's not as familiar to me, but I have built a lot of houses in The Sims with kitchen tables, and I do think that they're adorable. So we're going to put a kitchen table in there, but first I want to put some clutter to make this place look a little bit more lived in, because I think adding little details like a cereal box or any other kind of decor makes it look more realistic. And obviously we need a sink so that you can wash the dishes somewhere. I love the detail on all of the little like decorations or decor. I think it looks very nice and detailed. And my favorite item is the basket full of bread, which I believe is not functional, but it looks so delicious. I wish it was functional so that your paras could actually use it. But here I am putting in a little kitchen table. It's very small and round. I really think it's pretty, but this one has like the slot, so I think that your paras will be able to actually use it and sit in it and eat it. I'm just gonna change all of the different swatches. I like this yellow swatch. I think it looks really pretty, and I like the little pattern on it as well. So I'm going to change all of the different chairs, including the dining room chairs, just so they all look the same, because I like the cohesion, because they're all in one room, as opposed to if they were in different rooms they might use a different color or whatever. But since they're all together, I want them to be cohesive. But now I'm going to add like a plant or something to this top, because I think this needs more plants. This house needs a lot more plants than it has. It has no plants. I really like these plants, both the bigger plant that I'm putting in the corner right now and the one on the table. I think they look adorable. And now we're adding a rug, because even though in real life there's no rug underneath my dining room table, you always got to have a rug in building simulation, life simulation games, or else it just looks unfinished, at least to me. I really like this rug. I think it looks pretty. I like the colors. I'm going for like a more of a muted color scheme, if you can't tell. So now we're moving on to the living room, and I just love that you can change the size. This part of the video is where you can really get into how great it is that you can change the size of the different sofas, so that you can have like massive sofas or small sofas if you want. I'm trying to figure out how to do the layout for this, because there's two walls that don't have any windows on them right now. So I want to put the TV in this room, obviously, so I want a space for the TV, and I think this is a natural way to do it. I'm gonna add a nice little chair. I like this like armchair. It kind of reminds me of the one I have in my home, and changing it to blue and yellow I think are a good combination color, and they look really good next to the wallpaper. This I didn't realize was a coffee table at first. I kept trying to put it where for the TV console, but I think this one looks nice, so I'm just gonna keep it as the coffee table and put it there. And now I'm moving the chair to the corner because I think that looks nicer, and I love this tiny little TV console that I've put on there. I think it looks so cute. You could like put games and stuff in it. And the TV, obviously the most important part of the living room. Yeah, the TV. I love that you can size it up and down. Literally every single item you can size up and down with no cheats, which I just think is like the best part of this whole game for the build mode. And I love this lamp. I think it adds a lot of interest to the room. And I'm trying to put these pillows onto the couches and the chair, but it doesn't want to go on the chair. So I think I'm just gonna go move on to some type of curtains. And I really like these curtains. I am going to change the color because I think it's a little too matchy to the wallpaper that I've put on. I like this nice neutral white, because white's always a good color for like curtains because it's so neutral, but I really like these like curtains. The only thing I wish, one of the things I really hope that they implement throughout the early access is like a very small detail, and it doesn't matter at all, but I really wish that there was a way to get it so that the curtains could be opened and closed by your paras. I think that would be so nice. And now we're moving on to the rugs, which is, after the TV, the second most important object you can put into your living rooms, because I think it ties the whole room together. And I really like these rugs. I'm trying to change the size of them. I can't find one that I really like, because even though you can change it to basically any pattern that you want, I want a good base pattern of all of them. And I think I'm not going to change the colors once I find a good rug to use, because I don't want to go too customizable just on the first build. I want to make it simple, like I've been saying. And now I'm doing all of these. For some reason, you can put the pillows on the couches, but not the chair. So I guess maybe they've coded it in a way where you can't put it on the chair, but it looks good on the couches. I like the pillows. So now I'm going to move over to this little corner in the right hand corner. I'm going to put like a little desk area. I didn't want to make a full on office space, but I think having a nice little desk area where you can have a computer for your paras is nice. I'm not 100% sure if this is like The Sims where you need a computer, or else it's kind of hard to function in the game, or if it's just a nice thing to have. But I want to have a little like desk area. I really like this lamp. I wish I had this lamp in real life. And this little organizer, I may have made it a little too small, but I think it looks really nice. And this chair is so comfy. I want it. I want this whole house in real life. I want everything that the Paralives team have made in real life. I want it in my house. But anyways, now we're doing this bookshelf, and I want more of an open case bookshelf instead of like a closed bookshelf. So I really like this one. I'm trying to get a good angle for it. And while I'm doing most of this for aesthetics, I also am using this while playing in my game. So I want this to be functional, and I probably need my paras to have some sort of fun activity to do, like reading. I really like to read in real life, so my paras should too, I think. And I really like this plant. Again, this house needs a lot more plants than I've been putting into it, so I'm going to add a few plants around. And I like this little organization shelf, I think, to put next to the desk, to maybe like where you put all your files when you're working. I think that would be a nice touch. I want to make this a little bit realistic, so I am going to put this, I'm assuming it's an air conditioner, over here onto the right hand corner next to the door, just to make it look more realistic, and a fan next to it just in case the air conditioner breaks or something. I don't know, but I think I'm going to move on to the bedroom now, which is very fun. I love this bed. I think it looks pretty, but this one's a lot better. This bed is very nice. I like the little like blanket on the end that's green. Green is my favorite color, so I think I'm going to keep it like that. And these nightstands match perfectly with the headboard of the bed, which is so nice. So now I just got to put in this nice little dresser and try to match that color to it. That is kind of like the hardest part, even though it's so customizable and I really do love it. It is a little hard to match all of the swatches exactly. And oh my god, guys, I have literally the same exact lamp. Okay, maybe not exactly the same, but this style of lamp, I love this style of lamp. There's a lamp that looks almost exactly like this, but it's blue, in the house that I live in, and it is just so pretty. They're like some of my favorite lamps. And now I need a rug in my room. That's like the best thing in the bedroom, is to have a rug. Unless you have carpet, I guess you wouldn't put like a rug in the carpet room, but this one is hardwood floor, so that's a very nice rug. And obviously this person needs mirrors and more curtains, although this blue is not doing it for me, so I think I'm going to change the color of the curtains to this more light tone. I'm really feeling yellow this video. Have you noticed? A lot of the things that I'm building, I'm feeling like a good yellow tones. I feel like this game is very good with the yellow tone. Oh, and this chair looks so comfy, but also not comfy. I think that the bottom of the chair where the seat is looks comfy, but I don't know if the whole chair itself would be comfy. And this ottoman is just so cute. And again, the sizing and upsizing, the making bigger and the making smaller is just so nice. And again, you need a plant, or else what are you doing with your life? If you don't have a plant in your room, whether it's fake or real, you need it in your life. And again, I'm going to use the same exact lamp that I use in the living room because it's so pretty. And obviously we need more plants to round out the room, and I think this one's going to be a little bit littler, so that's really nice. And just adding a few more clutter details to make the room look more lived in. It looks really nice. And finally, the last room that we're doing is the bathroom, which is adorable. I love all of the bathroom decor. I like this wood tone that I'm going for, so I think I'm going to stick with that. But as I've said about almost every single item in this build by catalog thing, this shower and this bathtub are so adorable. I want them in real life. They look so good. And I'm not even going to change the swatches or like the colors or anything because I honestly love them so much. And I'm adding just a few more details back and forth, but we obviously need like, oh, trash can. I totally forgot about trash can. That's why, yeah, I put that in the last minute because I just went over my head completely. Well, this toothpaste looks so cute, and some toilet paper to go next to the toilet, and obviously you need a toothbrush. And right next to the little trash can, which is adorable by the way, I'm gonna put a nice simple rug. I don't want anything too fancy in the bathroom. I like this one, it's very pretty. Although I will say, while the resizing is very good and it's very intuitive, I wish there were even more options of the different resizing. And now we are moving on to paintings, which this is really cool because you can have basically like unlimited paintings and you can change it to whatever color you want. And now I'm just going to add on the final details, like a little shelf that you would put your stuff on in your office, and some more paintings and maybe some more plants, and just add a few little tiny more details just so it looks more lived in and decorated. I really like cluttered houses personally, and I need curtains in this. Although, do I need more windows? I think I'm going to put more windows over here just because it looks a little empty. And obviously I got to add more curtains after I put the windows there. So this will look nice. Same color because I like the cohesion, and raising them, pulling them down just to make them look nicer. But other than a few other small details, that's basically the end of this build today. I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And check out this video that YouTube thinks you'll really like. See you in the next one. Bye!